Hey, it's Joe for the good morning update. It is the 8th, 2023, 10:53 a.m. And what I wanted to do, this is something new that I'm doing. And, a lot of people are asking, well, Joe, how do you manage your trade? So here's a trade that I'm in right now. And I would like for you to talk, I would like for myself to talk through this and see how I'm going to end up managing this. So here we are. So my trade here, the trade that I took was when I saw this, we were here at the open, and when I saw this price action here, so basically range behavior, strong candle to the upside, okay, they tried to the upside, immediately failed, okay, immediately failed. So now at this point, it's okay, well, they tried up, no buyers up here for now. So oftentimes when there's no buyers at one inflection point, the market will do the opposite. So what I did was I watched this red bar, and I'm conscious of support there. Once I saw this bar breaking down, I started getting short in this bar here, okay? And then I also added some on this retracement here with the theory that because of these red bars, this first green bar was going to be sold, and it was. So right now we're sitting in a position where I want to just frame out the trade, and I'm short here, and my stop is up here. All right. So this is how we frame it. So the way we frame this trade is what we do is this is our entry box like this. So this is our risk. So we know our risk. So, what is there to be afraid of? We already know what our risk is. So now we're going to look at this, and this is going to, there's going to be a lot of dead time here, because as I manage my trade, there's really not much for me to do, because at this point I can't move my stop yet, right? Because as you know, we move our stops based on what the market is telling us. I do see this type bear channel. Just because it breaks above that doesn't really mean much, but I do also see that they're making a potential bottom down here. So there's a potential bottom forming here. As well. But so what I'm really looking for is potentially we have the moving average here. Right now, they had one big green bar, but it was sold immediately. So it's consolidating below resistance, which is here. So I don't know. We have to see what happens here. What we don't want to do is we don't want to just start panicking and doing things of that nature. I'm in this trade, and the market is not telling me that there's a reason to get out, right? The market is not, we're looking if the market does give us a big green bar, if we start getting some type of green bars down here, then this is not my opinion. This is just what the market. The market is consolidating this below here for now. By the end of this bar, I may be saying something different, but for now, in the management of this trade, I can't be worried about every wiggle and waggle because, again, I'm trading on a longer term basis. I'm trading to capture the bigger move, so I have to be able to hold through this. Now, can this come up and stop me out? Sure, of course, it happens all the time. Can this start forming a pattern down here that I end up covering before my stop? Sure. Can I see a scenario where this breaks this low and continues for another leg down? Because if we look at, the potential, so this was move one, right? And it's all about getting the right price because I'm in at a good price, so I could hold through stuff like this. So this was move one, and then move two could potentially, just if it did what it just did, right? This is not prediction. This is just if it does what it just did, the measure move would bring us down to here. But again, we have to see how it gets there and the speed of it and what the bars look like. And again, we could also reverse up. So we're ready here for either scenario. And again, we get paid for how we act in terms of what is our behavior during these periods of risk, these periods of indecision, right? This is not the time to panic. And here we go. We're approaching the lows. See some buyers for now. So let's see how it reacts down here at these lows. This bar just opened, so I mean, this has a potential to be a big bar here. So this is the potential down. Now let's also draw the maximum favorable excursion. So far we were in from here, and the most I could have made is down here. So I mean right now we're sitting. This is roughly a 1 hour win. Right? So this is roughly a 1 hour win. But to me that doesn't mean anything. It does when I'm counting my statistics. But when I am in the trade, this 1 hour doesn't mean anything. And the reason why is because I'm trading the market, and the market doesn't care where I got in. I happen to be in at a good price because I was able to minimize my risk to this box right here. But now we have to see what happens. What if this turns into a green bar and reverses up? Then what? Yep. So it's reversing up from here again. It's it's not going to change my opinion. Let's see, wait for the bar to close. Let's see if they could even get. I mean, they're not even getting green bars. I mean, the last green, was that a green bar? Or is that a perfect doji? Looks like that's a perfect doji. So when was the last green bar? I mean, they had this one green bar which was sold immediately. Red, doji, red, red, red. Now again, they're not convincing red bars at this case, but they're in context of what just happened with this move down. Where are the bulls? Where's the buying? Right? Where is the buying here? We don't predict, we observe. We don't predict, we observe. I'm just observing what's happening, and the market's going to tell me whether I'm going to lose money on this trade, whether I'm going to break even. I'm going to be reading the market, hyper focused on each candle, and based on what the market is telling me, that's how I'm going to react. You notice I have all my boxes drawn in and my risk and my entry price and all these different things, but it has nothing to do with how I manage my trade. All right, so this bar closed, and another red bar, but tail. So patience, patience. We observe, we're aware, and the market is going to let me know. The good news is I don't have to worry about it, right? Because is this going to be a winning trade or a losing trade? I don't know. This is one of the next 1,000 trades that I'm going to be taking. So I don't really care, to be honest with you. Like, is this going to be the trade that I make a lot of money on? It doesn't matter. If it is, it is. And if it's not, then it's not. It's just, we have to just remind ourselves that the markets are not linear. The markets don't give us a paycheck. The markets are the markets. And how do we react and interact and make contact with the market? That's all that matters. That's all that matters. You want results? Focus on that. You want results? Focus on what is it that's getting in the way between you and the market. Did you read news this morning and now you have a bias that the market must go down or must go up? Right? So you're seeing this in real time. This is what the pros do. This is how the pros trade. We're not frantic. We're not running around the room with our hair on fire. We're just sitting here and we're looking at the market. We got ourselves into a position. And the entry, you're going to find out, the entry is actually the least important. There was a reason for me to get in, and I did. But now it's how I get paid in this trade is how I manage this trade. If I would just get out because I just say, well, I have one R, locked in, and I'm afraid to lose it back. I don't care if this, for me personally, I don't care if this trade goes back up and stops me out. Now I'm hoping that somewhere along the way I could find a better way to get out. But at the end of the day, okay, at the end of the day, the reality is the reality is that it does it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So let's see what happens. I mean, is there any evidence of buyers? Where are the buyers? Are there strong sellers? No. No, I don't see strong sellers. You know, if you saw another bar of this magnitude, then I would have more conviction in the trend. But again, that doesn't mean anything. You never know what the next bar is going to give us. You never know what the price action. I just know on what I'm seeing and what I have been seeing, and until further notice, that's what I'm seeing. Now, be ready because it could change at any time. I'm not bought into the short side. I'm not. Here's another red bar. Again, not convincing, but again, these they're still making lower highs. They tried, but this could also be bottoming action. I don't know. What I could tell you is that we are at an inflection point on a short-term basis because the market is trying to find sellers down here, and if not, it could reverse all the way back up. So let's see. Again, this is where we don't get predictive. This is where market show me, right? The market just needs to show me and tell me, and then I'll follow what the market tells me. If I start seeing buyers, I'm going to want to cover. If I keep seeing sellers, I'm going to stick with my short. Right? I mean, if I wasn't short, I would want to be short here. So why would I want to cover here? Why would be, well, because I want to lock in my profit because I don't want to lose it back because I'm going to feel bad. I'm going to feel bad if I lose it back. This is not about feelings. We don't care about feelings here. What we care about is that what is the appropriate action based on what the market is telling us. I'm not going to feel bad if this ends up being a losing trade. Well, I'm not going to feel bad at all because this is part of my process. I manage my trade once I'm in a trade based on what the market is telling me, period. Period. It doesn't matter at that point what my risk is. I'm just managing the trade. So now is this, is this exciting? Is this, hey, this is how you manage a winning trade. For now, it's a winning trade. It could not be a winning trade. Well, because this trade is just getting started. If this is going to be a big move, I'm getting in. This trade is just getting started. I mean, if we put this in context, okay, because again, I like to think of myself as a swing trader, even though I trade throughout the day. That's technically a day trader, but I mean, in the context of where we are here, that's probably not a good way to look at it. Let's look at it this way. So I know my charts, if you notice, are busy with my notes, not indicators, right? That's really important because every day on this is my canvas for me to learn. This is my canvas to learn. So if you look at where we are, so, this was look at the move just yesterday. We had a move of this magnitude. We had a move of this magnitude just yesterday. So then we had a move up of that magnitude. So it wouldn't be unreasonable for me to think that the market could at some point get back down in this area. So, and looking at even a 15-minute chart, I mean, where are, now we've broken below the moving average, where are the green bars, right? Why would I want to cover this? Again, profits and losses don't matter. Performance matters. Profits and losses are a natural side effect of managing your craft properly. Okay, they're simply a side effect. That's why I don't have a trading goal. That's why I don't have my P&L up. I don't care, because I'm not after that. I am after mastery. And what's going to get you to be a good trader is mastery of self. But then we take that mastery of self and we apply it here like a master. We apply it here on the charts. We apply it here on real time. We apply it here as the market is doing what the market is doing. But Joe, what happens if this market reverses and you end up losing money on the trade? Oh, well, then that's what'll happen, right? Then I'll tell you that's what just happened. But right now, I'm not seeing a reason to think about covering. I'm actually looking for a place potentially to add. I mean, the only reason why I'm not ready to add is, I mean, these red bars are just not. They're not convincing. They're not strong sell bars. So, but again, I'm managing my trade based on what the market is telling us. So what I'm going to do right now is, because we could be in this trade for a while, and I don't want this to be a super long video. We're already on here for over 20 minutes. I'm going to pause it, and then I'll come back at the end of each 5 minutes. So, all right, let me just, so here we have now this bar is better than the last bunch of bars, and it's a closing close to its low. So let's see what happens. All right, I'll be back in 5. All right, so here we are back. This 5-minute bar closed. So they finally did get a green bar. But again, if you look at the past, I'm still, my stop is still up top, because this is a tough spot, because, there is a green bar, but, they've been selling those green bars. So I don't really, I feel like if I just move my stop at this point above here, it's just too tight, in terms of how the market is behaving. Of course, it would be, it sounds better to our mind, right? It sounds better to our mind to say, well, let's just lock something in, because if not, we might lose it. Well, but that's not trading. Trading is performance, and then we get paid based on how well we perform. So, yeah, I mean, it could happen. It's a green bar. We could have another one that races up to our entry, and then we're not making money. But again, that's my personal problem. That's not what the market cares about. So what I'm looking at is, how is the market reacting after this green bar? I'll be back. All right, we're back. So we had a big red bar close, and you'll notice here, where once we saw this red bar, I had 40 when I came in. I added 10 as this bar broke down. So I added 10. But so notice when I'm adding, my initial position was 40, and I added 10. So that's what, about a 25%, add. So the reason why I do that is because look how, I've still kept my average cost up here. If I started adding 20, 30, 40, now my average price is lower. So what that allows me to do is to stay in the trade longer, because I have a good price. So now it looks like the market's accelerating down. I got to start thinking about, where would be a cover zone? I mean, and again, I don't like to anticipate this, because there's nothing in the price action that I've seen and that I'm seeing right now that would tell me that there are buyers here. That being said, okay, now at this point, here's the measured move down, would be around down here. So we're getting close, because at a certain point, the trade goes far enough, and I'm not saying that we're there now, because we just don't know. But at a certain point, the trade is going to go far enough where the risk versus reward doesn't make sense anymore, right? I mean, the risk versus reward, the smaller you can make your risk box, the greater the risk versus reward. Well, would you want to be shorting down here? The only reason why I shorted this candle here is because I'm already in, and I'm just adding to a winner, right? But now, at what point, right? At what point here do we, because the market can potentially stop here, right? Right here, we have a lot of support here. So the market could stop, anywhere in this zone from here all the way down to here, But if this is supposed to be my big win, my big trade, and then I get out because I'm saying it could stop there, that's not a good reason. So I'm not going to do that. So in terms out of our, this is our maximum favorable excursion. And so that's how far it's gone. So that's about, I got about 2R in hand. So now there's, is that a reason to get out? No, but now it's, this is a big winner. Okay, this has now become a big winner. And so now, do I want this to turn around and not be a big winner? Of course not, right? Of course not. But it's just, again, I'm trying to, even though you see it's going through my mind now, the money's creeping in, right? Because but now, I'm making money, right? But what we're trying to figure out here, what we're trying to do here, is that how do we interact with the market in the best possible way? I'm not. Since 10:30 a.m., we've had only 2 green bars, right? We're in this tight bear trend. We haven't threatened the moving average since the open, because that's where it opened. So, you have to assume that any reversal up at this point is going to be minor. But let's see how this candle closes. What do we got? 45 seconds here. This is, and sometimes, what I'll do as well is, because with shorts, okay, covering shorts is an art for sure, because you don't have much time to cover shorts. The market stair steps up, but when the market reverses up from a downtrend, it could do it very quickly and swiftly. So, covering is certainly on my mind right now. Now they're going to close this candle. It's going to be a red candle. Is it going to close towards the bottom? Let's see if it closes towards the bottom third of the candle. Let's just see here. And it did, and then they sold it immediately. So again, is there a reason? Okay, is there a reason here to buy? Is there a reason to cover here? Now I know we could have a big green candle here, but all right. So I just covered. So I ended up covering it about there. So actually, yeah. So I covered right about there. I gave this much back. That's a that's a 1.5 hour trade, roughly. So you know what? Why did I cover? Well, I saw this here. Then I saw it went down, but immediately when the candle closed, but then they bought it back up. So at a minimum, we could be going into a trading range right now here at support. So I just decided I just wanted to just pull the trigger on that and just and cash it. And hey, if it turns out that the market keeps going lower, let's see if I can find a re-entry point. But that was that trade, and we're done.